Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to play Ways of the World by W.H. Stepp. So, that's W.H. Stepp's The Ways of the World. And Margot seems to enjoy that. Right, Margot? A little bit. Not sure how much she actually enjoys that. She seems to enjoy sleeping. So that was in cross tuning. I have it in a G cross tune, so G. You want to be very precise with your tuning. It's sort of close. So it resonates well. I do a little bit of... Honestly, I haven't listened to the recordings closely or slowly or practiced this slowly, so it's a little sloppy. I mean, it is what it is. But there's a few times that I like to do that D, 2 strings. So also have my 4th finger on the string down from that, the A string or the G string, however you think of it. It's kind of like the Mendelssohn violin concerto, like the cadenza, a little bit. Not exactly. I don't know why I like to have, playing the 4th finger is annoying. It's hard to get in tune, and your 4th finger is kind of weak, so that's hard. But I like having the 2 strings. I want to listen to a little the recording again, the source recording, to see if what I'm doing is at all what W.H. Stepp is doing. Don't want to do too much of that. Like I have no idea what I'm doing with the bowing. And I have no idea what W.H. Stepp is doing with the bowing. So that's probably something to work on for future tunes is to think about the bowing and to practice it more slowly. I'm on the couch here with Margot, and my posture is kind of like this, so I hope you at home practicing your fiddle have good posture. Imagine you're the concert master or concert mistress in the orchestra. And like my old conductor Ronald Brownstein used to say, "Phil, use more bow." Saw away at it? I don't know. I tighten the bow hairs a little bit, see if I get a little more force. Practice it more slowly. I'll be amazed if anyone really wants to watch these videos as I'm making a bit of a longer video. We're up to what, like 7 minutes of me kind of practicing Ways of the World. But I don't know, maybe someone wants to watch it. That's probably where I would stop for now because I simply haven't listened to it enough. I did listen to the WH step version before I got online here. And I didn't like what my teacher, Rob Flax, always recommends when we're doing jazz is to listen to a bunch of versions of it and then try to find out some licks that you like and try to transcribe those things that are particularly well done. So that would be something to do for this tune. But I'm imagining maybe there's like a beginning fiddler out there who's stumbled upon this video somehow and would like to learn this tune and isn't like particularly used to cross tuning. So, I mean, yeah, some scales and cross tuning maybe. And really tune the cross tuning so it's in tune. What else can I say about cross tuning? I guess the string crossing, it's like a really smooth. Use these, the hand is complicated. I did I did a few weeks of hand surgery when I was a medical student, and seeing those hand surgeons operate, I mean, there's a lot of muscles, nerves, arteries in these hands, bones, veins. Like, use the hand like in a smooth way and like let the bow kind of I think I don't know, being smooth. How can we practice being smooth and pulling a nicer tone out of the instrument? You know, your instrument, what it is. This is my $600 childhood violin. I never got an expensive violin, but it has a nice tone. This bow is new because I knocked over my bow and it snapped. Now I have a Coda bow, conservatory used Coda bow, which is carbon fiber, but maybe another thing to think about is imagining you're with a guitar or a banjo and they're accompanying you. Obviously, you're not going to do a big vibrato if you're going to be like a real old-time fiddler. You're going to suppress your violinist vibrato instincts. I think the other thing is this recording, I recall W.H. Stepp was playing it very fast. So all the stuff that I'm saying about drawing a nice tone and having the cross tuning, you know, the sympathetic strings ringing out, he was just, as I recall, I mean, let's listen to it again, but he was just playing it fast. So I think that might be about all I have for y'all tonight. Super Bowl. I'm not watching the Super Bowl. I'm recording this video instead of watching the Super Bowl. Old-time fiddle is good for you. Classical violin is good for you. Jazz violin is good for you. Blues violin is good for you. Bluegrass is good for you. Indian violin is good for you. I've tried all these styles. I'm imagining, you know, somebody who did violin through high school and maybe they quit in college and haven't done it, and now they're in their 40s like I am and they're getting back to it. Like, how do you get inspired? How do you get really excited about, like, why would I pick up my violin again, like, 20 years later? I don't know. I mean, life is short. I had a friend, I've never told this story on camera, but I had a friend in high school. His name was Luther William Sink. This was Paul Laurence Dunbar High School from 1995 to 1999. Luke was a good friend of mine. He was a basketball player. He was a singer. He was in the chorus. And he went off to Vanderbilt to the Blair School of Music. He was, I think, pre-med as well as music major and singing and all this stuff. It was very dynamic. Good friend. Made everyone feel like he was their best friend. It was a really good skill that he had. I think he actually really did mean it. And then in August of 2000, I got an email or a phone call or something that Luke had died in his sleep. And I think it was home in Lexington, Kentucky. And I think the autopsy ended up showing that he had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a rare connective tissue disorder, a genetic disorder. And he had some sort of catastrophic aortic rupture or something like that and died in his sleep. And his mom, Kathy Sink, holds an annual chili dinner in Lexington, Kentucky, where the old friends from high school who are still living in Lexington come by. I believe it's in January for Luke. And she also, she and Ronnie, Luke's dad, gave out clocks to many of the friends. And on the clock it says Luke Sink and Luke Sink and his date of birth and date of death, I suppose. And on the back it says, "Time is precious." And that is something that I would hold on to for all of you all out there, because time is precious. You don't have much time. You wake up and you're 43, as I am, and you have a 9-year-old, and you're trying to get back in the fiddle and learn to play the fiddle, and you're kind of remembering your friend from high school, Luke Sink, and how time is really precious. Well, thank you, friends, for joining. Margot says thanks. Margot. Bye-bye.